The top stories tonight in Y News. A leader of the lower chamber of Congress states that securing a majority vote for economic charter change is a test of leadership for Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri.
Various international studies experts in the country voice differing opinions on how the Philippines should respond to China's increasing aggression against Philippine ships.
Senator Robin Padila begins gathering signatures from his colleagues to reverse the contempt order against religious group leader Apollo Quiboloy.
And we will discover on why the missile strike by the Houthi rebels in the Red Sea poses a grave threat to global shipping industry.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, March 7, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Marvi Delphine.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Joselito Liquido.
First in the news, House Deputy Majority Leader and Iloilo 1st District Representative Janet Garin states that securing a majority vote for economic charter change in the Senate is a test of leadership for Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri. Meanwhile, the House official also assures that it is impossible to insert political provisions in resolution of both Houses number 7. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Securing a majority vote for economic charter change is seen as a test of leadership for Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri. This belief comes from House Deputy Majority Leader and Representative of Iloilo's 1st District Janet Garin, especially after the Senate President acknowledged the challenge of garnering votes to pass economic chacha in the Senate. This is amid the rift between the two chambers of Congress regarding the proposal to amend the Constitution.
We believe that it's just a matter of time for Senate to embrace the real change that our country needs. It might actually be a test of his leadership on how he can bring to the people the discussion on the real intent of economic chacha.
So maybe he can use that, his charm, if he's having trouble garnering votes of 18.
I know that, they would prove to the Filipino people that they are not for the oligarchs, but for the Filipino people. Thank you.
Despite this, the House lawmakers remain confident that the Senate leadership will garner the support they need for economic chacha after President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. stated that it is important to amend the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution to encourage more investors in the country and to further grow the economy. Meanwhile, it is impossible to insert any political amendments in the resolution of both Houses number 7 or RBH 7. This assurance comes from Representative Garin, the Assistant Floor Leader of the House Committee of the Whole, which deliberated on the economic chacha for 6 days.
The political amendments is very impossible. Yung mga takot na pinag-uusapan, that's actually the problem if you are legislating with many fears behind your mind.
This assurance comes after a Makabayan Black lawmaker expressed concern over the possibility of inserting other provisions in the measure. During the deliberations, Rufus Rodriguez, the representative of the 2nd District of Cagayan de Oro City, publicly stated that he wants more economic amendments in the Constitution. The Makabayan Black Law Committee of the Whole.
Nangangamba tayo na magpapasok pa rin yan ng panibagong mga amyenda or on economic provision. And pangalawa, yung dagdagan na rin lang nila yan ng mga political provision. So hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari kasi anything goes naman eh.
Definitely no political amendments. Definitely hindi naman yan maglolokohan sa floor. The voice of the people and the voice of the majority of the members of Congress will be carried.
Next week, the House of Representatives will once again debate the measure. Solons will engage in debates with each other before advancing RBH 7 to second reading. RBH 7 aims to lift the economic provisions of the Philippine Constitution concerning public utilities, education, and advertising industry. Before the congressional break on March 23, House aims to approve the proposed economic amendments. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Bureau of Immigration, or BI, has issued a stern warning to the public regarding the proliferation of fake or scam social media pages and fraudulent emails. According to the immigration authorities, they have received numerous reports concerning the misuse of social media platforms where pages purporting to be official channels are engaging in extortion activities. It's important for the public to be aware that the Bureau of Immigration is not involved in the release of parcels or cargoes. Any claims made by these fake pages suggesting otherwise should be treated with skepticism. Furthermore, the BI highlighted a concerning instance where an email address was identified as sending invoices and requesting a significant amount of 25,000 pesos for the release of a supposed package from Japan. In response to these cases, the Bureau of Immigration has taken decisive action by forwarding the matter to the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center for thorough investigation.
In a decision penned by Associate Justice Maria Filomena Singh, the Supreme Court has rendered a significant ruling on a petition brought forth by a group of jeepney drivers and operators challenging the constitutionality of a provision within the Public Utility Vehicle or PUV Modernization Program. The court has decided to dismiss the petition, citing that the petitioners lack legal standing to initiate such a suit. It was emphasized that the group failed to furnish adequate evidence supporting their claim of being a legitimate association of PUJ operators and drivers. Moreover, the court pointed out that the petitioners failed to adhere to the principle of hierarchy of courts. It was underscored that issues such as these should have been initially raised before a lower court or the Court of Appeals, which possess the jurisdiction to address factual matters.
The Department of Transportation has provided an update regarding the progress of the Metro Manila subway project, revealing that the negotiations for some of the right-of-ways acquisition are still ongoing. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Department of Transportation continues to engage in negotiations with private property owners whose land is needed for the Metro Manila subway project's passage. According to the agency, they have secured approximately 55% of the required right-of-way. Spanning from Valenzuela Depot to Bicutan in Parañaque, the Metro Manila subway project covers a distance of 33 kilometers, traversing various cities in the metropolis. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista elucidated on the strategies employed to persuade private property owners to grant the right-of-way for the project.
There will be no effect as far as construction of the tunnel is concerned. Yung kanilang mga pag-aari, yung kanilang mga bahay will continue to be safe, no? During the construction and during the operation of the subway.
One notable hurdle encountered by the DOTR involves a property owned by the Department of Education, which houses a building declared as an important cultural property. In response, the DOTR has opted to divert the station's route to avoid passing through the DepEd's property.
Isa sa mga problema namin, yung isang station natin ay may tatamaan na isang building, no, na pag-aari ng Department of Education, no, and that building is considered a heritage site, no. So kailangan important cultural property.
In resolving contentious right-of-way issues, the agency regards expropriation proceedings as a last resort. This legal recourse entails filing a case in court to secure the right-of-way for the major railway project. It's crucial to note that this process entails just compensation rather than forced occupation. Meanwhile, in a significant development earlier today, March 7, the tunnel boring machine at North Avenue Station was activated. Over the next 12 months, it is anticipated to reach Tandang Sora Station, covering a distance of 1.7 kilometers. By 2028, partial operations are anticipated for the country's inaugural subway system. Full operations are expected by 2029, promising to reduce travel time from Valenzuela to Naiya from an hour and a half to just 35 minutes. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, a missile strike by the Houthi rebels has caused 3 fatalities, including 2 Filipinos, to a merchant ship crossing 50 nautical miles off the Yemen's port through the Red Sea, posing a grave threat to the global shipping industry. Arkil Yorka will give us the details live. Yes, RK, good evening.
Good evening, Marvy. 3 seafarers, including 2 Filipinos aboard the Greek-owned Barbados flagship Through Confidence, were killed on the first fatal missile attack by Houthi rebels on Red Sea shipping on Wednesday, March 6. The strike, which set the vessel ablaze, occurred approximately 50 nautical miles off the coast of Yemen's port of Aden, on which the Houthis later claimed themselves responsible via televised media. Information of the 20 crew and 3 armed guards on board, including 15 more Filipinos, are still unavailable according to the Greek operators of True Confidence Shipping. The Houthis have been attacking ships in the Red Sea since November in what they say is a campaign in solidarity with Palestinians during the war in Gaza. Britain and the United States, on the other hand, have launched retaliatory strikes against the Houthis, and the confirmation of fatalities could lead to pressure for stronger military encounters. Actions of the both parties has raised concerns about the safety of shipping in the Red Sea, a vital trade route, on the risks faced by seafarers in the region. The General Secretary of the International Transport Workers Federation, Stephen Cotton, calls for an urgent action to protect its members, warning that the escalating Houthi attacks pose a grave threat to global shipping. Back to you, Marvy.
Thank you, Arkil Yorka, reporting live from Thailand.
A deadly Russian missile exploded at a distance of hundreds of meters on the Ukrainian port of Odessa during a visit by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis in the city on Wednesday. Ruth Bahet tells us why.
Ukraine's Navy has announced that a Russian missile attack shook the port infrastructure in Odessa, Ukraine on Wednesday, March 6, leaving 5 casualties and several others sustained injuries. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis both witnessed and heard the strike during their visit, which took place approximately 500 to 800 meters away from their meeting. The attack on Odessa's port infrastructure is part of a series of Russian assaults on Ukrainian Black Sea ports since mid-July, when Moscow quit a United Nations broker deal for safe passage of Ukrainian grain, prompting Kyiv to create its own export route. Meanwhile, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has condemned the attack, highlighting the resilience of the Ukrainian people and their leaders in the face of terror. In response to the escalating tensions, Mitsotakis reaffirmed Greece's support for Ukraine, urging the European leaders to witness the impact on civilians firsthand. He emphasized the importance of air defense and commitment to a bilateral security agreement, enhancing security measures in the Black Sea region. Additionally, the leaders discussed about Greece's participation in a high-level peace conference in Switzerland. Ruth Bahe, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As tensions rise concerning China's increasing aggression against Philippine ships conducting rotational and reprovisioning mission in the Ayungin Shoal, various international studies experts in the country have voiced differing opinions on how the Philippines should respond. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Kasi napikunan sila, hindi nila mapigil eh. Talagang pinapakita na natin na determinado tayo. So talagang, kumbaga, ginagamit na nila yung escalation ladder. Talagang pinapatasan nila. Talagang nananakit na sila na may mga damages na nangyayari.
Tonight, tensions in the West Philippine Sea are escalating as China grows increasingly frustrated with the Philippines' unwavering stance in protecting its interests, particularly at the Ayungin Shoal. Renato De Castro, an international studies expert from De La Salle University, warns that China's aggressive actions could escalate further as it aims to assert control over a significant portion of the West Philippine Sea.
Lalala pa yan pag gumamit na talaga sila ng dahas. At posible yan kasi yung Chinese Coast Guard, unang-una yung capability nila, no? Yung mga ginagamit yung Chinese Coast Guard, tatandaan natin yung kasaysayan niya, no? Ang goal talaga ng Chinese Coast Guard, hindi talaga yung constabulary of the sea. Ang goal talaga ng Chinese Coast Guard, manakop.
De Castro emphasizes the importance for the Philippines to maintain its activities in the area despite the risks involved. He explains that while the Philippines cannot directly confront China's aggressive tactics, it cannot simply surrender its territory. In addition, De Castro cautions against China's use of violent methods and highlights the dangers associated with it.
Well, itutuloy pa rin natin. Hindi naman tayo pwede gumamit ng dahas. Talagang antayin natin silang gagamit ng dahas. At kung gumamit man sila ng dahas, talagang, well, let's prepare for the worst. No? Let's hope for the best.
According to De Castro, if the Philippines and China engage in a prolonged standoff, China may demand the cessation of rotational and reprovisioning missions and the removal of the BRP Sierra Madre, effectively forcing the Philippines' presence out of the area. He notes that the recent altercation may not yet warrant invoking the Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States, but mutual consultations have commenced due to growing American concerns.
Hindi pa armed hindi pa kinetic Pero naging concern na rin ng Amerika because this is leading to possible use of China by kinetic force. Kaya nga yung sa State Department statement, sinabi nila there's already consultation going on, which is actually the Mutual Defense Treaty being already put into motion.
However, security analyst Romel Banlaoy offers a different perspective, advocating for serious dialogue between both parties to resolve the situation.
Napakahalaga na magkaroon ng friendly relationship yung dalawang bansa para ma-peacefully manage natin yung conflict dyan sa West Philippine Sea, lalong-lalo na sa dalawang areas na sa tingin ko ay red lines ng bawat bansa, yung Shoal at ang Scarborough Shoal. Not to mention yung Great Bank. Pero yan, tatlo na yan ang pinakadelikadong area sa West Philippine Sea.
Banlaoy believes that coordinated actions and discussions are essential to prevent unilateral activities and mitigate tensions in the area, as both sides are implementing law enforcement measures in the area. Romel Banlaoy points out that he was not surprised by China's recent actions at the Ayungin Shoal on Tuesday. He expresses concern that China's next steps could worsen the situation if not addressed promptly.
Baka magkaroon pa ng mas malala pang insidente sa naranasan natin ngayon. Kumbaga, yung naranasan ngayon ay the worst so far. Pero sa aking pagbabasa ng sitwasyon ay makakaranas pa tayo ng mas grabe pang insidente kung hindi natin mapipigilan ang mga respective unilateral activities natin dyan.
Banlaoy believes that invoking the Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States would only complicate matters further. According to the security expert, resorting to military alliance would not contribute to a peaceful resolution and could potentially escalate the situation, leading to further militarization of the issue.
Sa ngayon, ang problema pa lang natin ay law enforcement and political problems. We don't want this law enforcement and political problems to develop into a military problem, because if it develops into a military problem, that will really create violence in the area.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Senator Robin Padilla has begun gathering signatures from his colleagues to reverse the contempt order against religious group leader Apollo Quiboloy. However, one of them withdraws support. Harleen Delgado will tell us why.
The clock is ticking for Senator Robin Padilla to gather signatures to object to the contempt order and block the arrest of Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Quiboloy. Earlier today, March 7, he revealed those who supported the effort, namely Senators Amy Marcos, Cynthia Villar, Christopher Bongo, and JV Ejercito. However, hours after Padilla's announcement, Ejercito withdraws his signature. He says he initially signed the objection letter based on the fact that the Department of Justice ordered the filing of charges against Quiboloy, but his decision to withdraw came after carefully reviewing the testimonies of witnesses and other information, including the allegations of rape. Ejercito assures Quiboloy that he will be given fairness and the opportunity to present his side. Meanwhile, Senators Grace Poe and Raffy Tulfo declined to object to the order. Tulfo says he respects the contempt ruling of Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros, who heads the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality that is leading the investigation into Quiboloy's alleged abuses. He adds members of the committee have the right to issue contrasting opinions. Senator Cynthia Villar, meanwhile, cites her and her family's relationship with the religious group leader for supporting the objection.
Pag talaga ko na siya kilala, parang hindi naman siya sa yung panggagawa ng gano'n. Kami ni Amy, pareho namin siyang kilala. As well as yung mga taga Mindanao, maayos naman siya. Nakakaya naman na ako pahuhuli ko siya. Diyos ko, you don't do that to a friend.
Padilla maintains that the cases against Quiboloy should be left to the DOJ as he casts doubts that the Senate investigation is being done in aid of legislation.
Ano man ang kahinatnan nitong aking sana yung contempt, ang mahalaga sa akin dito pinaglalaban ko to kasi demokrasya ito eh. Hindi ito usapin ng kaibigan ko si pastor. Hindi yon. Para sa akin, nagiging biktima si pastor kasi nilabanan niya yung NPA. Hindi deserve para sa mga mata ko ng isang tao ang tingin ko bayani sa pakikipaglaban niya sa komunista na naging kasama ko. Ganitong klase papayagan ko maiskandalo. Teka muna. Nasaan ang utang na loob natin sa serbisyo ng taong ito na inalay niya sa paglaban sa komunista?
Padilla has 5 days or until March 12 to gather the needed 8 signatures from the members of the Senate panel in order to reverse the contempt ruling. He remains hopeful that he will be able to convince the other member senators to join his effort. If he fails, the Senate panel's request to arrest Quiboloy will prevail. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, has reported that the Super El Niño phenomenon experienced in the country may persist until the month of May. Furthermore, the Weather Bureau has underscored the likelihood of a transition towards La Niña conditions by June. Jed Neresina details why.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, has announced that the Super El Niño is weakening, but its effects is still expected to last into the month of May. That is why the public expect to feel more effects of the drought in the next months, especially as we go to the months where the temperature is hotter in March, April, and May. PAGASA advises the public to prepare for the effect of hot and humid weather due to the El Niño phenomenon. Now the effects of severe drought are being felt in some areas in the country.
So makikita po natin progression yung pagdami ng mga lugar na nagkakaroon ng significant reduction sa tubig ulan. So meaning po, kung titingnan natin yung mga areas na posible pang maaapektuhan ng peak impact ng El Niño ng March, April, May, kasabay pa dyan yung tindi ng init ng temperatura. So, ibig sabihin po, yung mga lugar na yon already experience prolonged drought or dry spell either since December, since January, or since February 2024 at posibleng magtutuloy-tuloy.
Meanwhile, PAGASA has released the La Niña Watch Advisory today, March 7, due to the high possibility of it developing in the month of June.
Nakikita natin na mataas ang posibilidad, more than 50% na mag-develop ang La Niña sa buwan ng Hunyo.
But according to the Philippine Weather Bureau, the effect of La Niña is still expected in the last months of this year.
Kapag may nagde-develop na La Niña, inaasahan natin na during tag-ulan or habagat, inaasahan natin na less ang mga pag-ulan. Kaya binabantayan po ng PAGASA na bagamat maging neutral na ang El Niño sa buwan ng Hunyo, ay may mga lugar pa rin na makakaranas ng tagtuyot, no? Drought or dry spell sa ibang lugar sa ating bansa.
PAGASA is continuously monitoring the possible climate changes in the country and also with the government agencies that will respond to the effects of weather phenomenon. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Department of Tourism has unveiled some promising figures regarding international visitor arrivals to the Philippines in the first 2 months of 2024. A staggering 1,227,815 international visitor arrivals have been recorded during this period. Of this impressive number, 1,160,129, which constitutes approximately 94.49%, are foreign tourist arrivals. Meanwhile, the remaining 67,686 arrivals are overseas Filipinos returning to the country. This influx of visitors represents a notable increase of 22.86% compared to the 999,390 arrivals received during the same period last year. Such growth is a positive indication of the country's attractiveness as a tourist destination. Among the countries contributing to this surge in international visitor arrivals are South Korea, the United States of America, China, Japan, and Canada. Additionally, arrivals from Australia, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and Germany have also been significant.
And in other global news, Nikki Haley announced the suspension of her presidential campaign following United States former President Donald Trump's resounding victory on Super Tuesday. While refraining from endorsing Trump, she stressed the significance of U.S. global leadership and criticized his stance on Ukraine. Mitch McConnell's endorsement of Trump underscored party unity. Despite Trump's criticisms, President Joe Biden welcomed Haley's supporters. Both candidates expressed readiness to engage in debates. Haley's campaign, although lasting longer than others, failed to yield significant impact. As the Trump-Biden rematch looms, characterized by low approval ratings and deep political divisions, swing states are expected to play a pivotal role once more. Key issues such as the economy, immigration, and the potential legal challenges for Trump will shape the electoral discourse. Abortion rights following changes in the Supreme Court also emerge as a significant factor. Initially a front-runner, Haley garnered attentions with her debate performances, but ultimately fell short against Trump's dominance. Her decision to suspend her campaign reflects a nuanced relationship with the former president throughout the race. Despite facing criticism, she maintained a stance of potential pardon for Trump if convicted, showcasing her commitment to party unity despite internal divisions. This move highlights the complexities within the Republican Party as it prepares for the upcoming electoral battle.
Since the operation of the James Webb Space Telescope in 2022, numerous findings were made about the universe's early stages. This time, scientists were able to observe a galaxy that was already dead when the universe was only 5% of its current age. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
On Wednesday, March 6, scientists have spotted a galaxy where the formation of stars have already ceased by roughly 13.1 billion years ago. Over the past decades, many dead galaxies have been detected, but the latest findings marks the earliest by about 500 million years. According to Tobias Loser, the lead author of the study published in the journal Nature, the said galaxy lived fast and died young, and that the nature of its existence is an interesting scientific puzzle. Researchers are now trying to figure out why the galaxy's star formation suddenly stopped after 30 to 90 million years from its burst. They suggest that the cause was a phenomenon they call feedback, which is an energy blast from newly formed stars that push the gas needed by other galaxies for star formation. Another endorsed possibility was the rapid consumption of gas without replenishment, resulting in starvation of the galaxy. In terms of mass, the galaxy is relatively small, with an estimated 100 million to 1 billion stars, which is similar to the small Magellanic Cloud Dwarf galaxy located near our Milky Way. Thanks to NASA's Webb telescope, astronomers were able to look at distances and moments in time greater and further than its Hubble predecessor. Researchers hope for more discoveries with the Webb telescope that has enabled them to see celestial bodies larger and more plentiful than expected. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
Experts reveal that poor sleeping habits and unhealthy lifestyles can significantly impact one's memory. However, there are simple activities that individuals can incorporate into their daily routines to enhance memory function. Gladys Tuwabi details why.
Once in a while, we tend to forget things. And expert says more than aging, unhealthy lifestyle including the food we eat and bad sleeping habit, even stress and workload can affect the memory.
Mga brain drain kasi may mga lifestyle pagkain na nagbe-brain drain talaga.
Okay.
If you are fan of drinking alcohol,
ayun.
Oo, that's the number one. Kaya nga naalala ko si Brother Eli na sinasabi niya, no amount of alcohol talaga naman, kahit gapatak yan. Sabi ko nga, pag naipon yan, ganun din. Kasi take note, hindi po nawawala doon yung toxic substance. Na hindi yun nadidetox eh.
To further improve and keep a healthy memory, here are some helpful tips to follow. Be physically active, as this increases blood flow to the body, including the brain. Staying mentally active. Activities like reading, games like crossword puzzles can be of help. Getting enough sleep.
Siyempre, iba yung jobs, yung mga ganon, marami nang nagtatrabaho sa gabi. Oo, kaya kailangan ko may time matulog. And then, of course, kaya may power nap.
Yan.
Oo, kailangan natin mag-power nap. Kasi, take note, sabi doon sa, sa mga brain science, na ang isang linggong pagpupuyat, it will take 365 days to recover. Ibabalik natin yung tamang normal na tulog. At least mga 10 or 11 kasi yung brain importante nakaka-recover. Kasi syempre yung mga cells niyan, yung mga wires. So, normally naman, kaya binigay yung dilim din. And of course, iba yung mga hormones, lalo yung mga relaxing hormones sa brain natin, thinking hormones, sa gabi yun na napoproduce, in the dark.
Keep a healthy diet and accompany all these healthy options with supplements rich in vitamin B complex. And stay hydrated. It can actually affect the cognitive function of the brain, such as the memory, focus, and concentration. Keep a healthy body for a healthy mind. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay. As the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 22 to 23. It says, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." And those are the reasons behind the news, March 7, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Marvy Delfin, live from Australia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We believe that it's just a matter of time for Senate to embrace the real change that our country needs. It might actually be a test of his leadership on how he can bring to the people the discussion on the real intent of economic chacha.
So maybe he can use that, his charm, if he's having trouble garnering votes of 18.
I know that, they would prove to the Filipino people that they are not for the oligarchs, but for the Filipino people. Thank you.
There will be no effect as far as construction of the tunnel is concerned. Yung kanilang mga pag-aari, yung kanilang mga bahay will continue to be safe, no? During the construction and during the operation of the subway.
Kasi napiko na sila, hindi nila mapigil eh. Talagang pinapakita na natin na determinado tayo. So talagang, kumbaga, ginagamit na nila yung escalation ladder. Talagang pinapatasan nila. Talagang nananakit na sila na may mga damages na nangyayari.